Australia now has an opportunity to create a public post office bank that will change life for the better and promote the common good. I'm Robert Barwick of the Citizens Party. The election of 2022 resulted in a dramatically new configuration in Parliament. Now is the time to think about bold changes and sweeping reforms. In this video, we will present 7 benefits that a public post office bank, a people's bank, would bring to the citizens of Australia. We'll tell you all about it in a minute. First, you should know we're asking you to sign our petition demanding that Parliament enact legislation to create a public post office bank. We need your support and involvement to bring political pressure to bear in support of this policy. The Citizens Party has written legislation to create such a bank. All that's needed now is the political will to do it. We'll come back to this at the end, so stick around. Here are 7 ways that local communities would benefit from a public post office bank. First, accessibility. A public post office bank would provide banking services wherever there is a post office. Australia has over 4,300 post offices and over 2,500 in rural and remote areas. Today in Australia, there are over 1,500 communities that have no local bank branch. The banks have been shutting hundreds of branch offices to cut costs and increase profitability. Second, preservation of cash. The Big Four banks have been trying to eliminate people's access to cash because they find it less profitable. Meanwhile, many businesses and citizens rely on and require cash for their very existence. Third, competition. Because a people's bank would be required to promote the public good, it would charge the lowest possible fees and interest rates and prioritise customer service. This competition would force commercial banks to lower their rates and improve customer service. It would also break the monopoly of the Big Four banks and the political stranglehold they currently have over our politics and people. Number 4, economic fairness. Many communities and citizens are neglected by the current banking system because everything is evaluated according to profit only. A people's bank would be charged with advancing the common good and making sure credit is available to all on an equitable basis. Number 5, security. A public post office bank would provide access to basic savings and wealth management products that have been vouchsafed by the government as being secure and professionally managed. Recall that the 2018 Banking Royal Commission found the Big Four banks' practices amounted to the, quote, face of unconscionable greed. The Commission uncovered shocking corruption by the banks, including faked payslips, forged documents, and cash-stuffed envelopes used as bribes to secure loans. Number 6, progress. A public post office bank would use the deposits of Australians to invest in the nation. A people's bank would evaluate projects according to the criteria: what is good for the community, what promotes progress, scientific advancement, and infrastructure development. With a conservative 10-to-1 loan to capital ratio and a government guarantee, the bank could loan vast sums at low interest rates. Local communities, burdened with giant expenses to repair existing infrastructure, could receive low interest rate credit. With a secure source of low-cost funding, Australia can build giant projects like the Bradfield Scheme and many other flood control and drought mitigation projects, high-speed rail, and affordable housing. And finally, point 7, stability. A public post office bank would represent a secure and stable source of funding for Australia Post, which will ensure the small business licensed post offices who provide our postal and banking services always remain viable. So there you have it, 7 ways a public post office bank would benefit local communities and all the people of Australia. This idea is not new or radical. Australia had a people's bank created by the government in 1911, which started in post offices. Postal operators offering banking services exist in dozens of other countries around the world. Japan Post is an example of a highly successful postal bank. The role of Japan Post was instrumental in enabling Japan to rise out of the rubble after World War II. Kiwi Bank is a New Zealand state-owned bank, and New Zealand Post is the majority owner. The Citizens Party has drafted legislation to create a Commonwealth Postal Savings Bank. Please join us in demanding a public post office bank by signing our petition. The winds of political change are blowing. Now is the time to strike while the iron is hot. Please sign our petition and help us spread the word.
Spoken and authorised by Robert Barwick, Citizens Party, Melbourne.